my friends, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be working on a fun little herb garden project. I saw this picture here on Pinterest, I don't know, forever ago, and I've had this pinned and I thought it was the cutest thing, and I actually picked up a galvanized pail like this from my favorite antique shops, grand shops that I talk about all the time, and I was like, I can totally make this happen. And then I ended up picking up two. So I'm not going to make it exactly like this. I'm gonna leave off that top piece, but I am really looking forward to putting this together. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I live by a racetrack, so I just wanna start by saying I'm sorry for the loud noise from the racetrack, but here is a look at what we're working with today. So these are the two galvanized pails that I picked up from Scranton's, from my antique shop. I like that they're a little bit different in color, and they're gonna sit kind of like this. So the top one will be pushed towards the back. I had Danny go ahead and drill in, not drill, he just used a screwdriver and a mallet and just made me some drain holes for both so that nothing gets too waterlogged. We're going to use some rocks to kind of weigh it down, and we need something to give us some height under there. I think we're going to use a mixture of compost and fresh dirt. So we'll go out to our compost pile, which is out there. I'll go put some fresh compost in here, and we'll mix that in with soil as well as biotone starter. So this will just help everything plant food. So this will be good. It says it's good for vegetables and everything else. I've got my small little shovel, my gloves, and this is everything that I'm going to be working with. I did get some Vinca Vine to give us a little bit of decor. We've got lavender, cilantro, chives, basil, oregano, and rosemary, thyme, mint, and parsley, I believe, is everything that I got. So it'll look really pretty. It smells so good. This basil smells phenomenal. I love the smell of basil. So this is what we're going to work with, and hopefully we can make this look super cute, and it's going to live in that corner right over there where it will get sun pretty much all day, and hopefully it will give us a beautiful little herb garden. To get us started with today's project, I am going to head out to our compost pile out in the corner of our yard. Right here under our trees, this is where we keep old dirt, and we just constantly are churning this and creating fresh nutrient compost like this that you see here. So that's what I'm starting with here in our galvanized pail. And I'm just going to try to create a space for the smaller pail to sit. And eventually I end up just leveling it out, but I just needed to figure out how much dirt I needed. And once I had an idea, I moved it over to where it was going to live here on my deck, so that I didn't have to pick it up and move it once it had the 2 pails worth of dirt. I did also add in some fresh soil, some potting soil. This is a moisture control potting soil to just help to regulate the amount of water. Because it's in a pail and in a container, not in the ground, I wanted to make sure that it wouldn't dry out and would stay adequately moist. I'm also adding in some starter fertilizer. This is from Biotone. This part is not necessary, but it does help your plants to get the nutrients that they need. So now I'm just going to bring over my plants and place them throughout the pails to make sure that I have them where I want them. Wasn't 100% sure how this was going to go, but I just tried to alternate the colors or the textures of the herbs and the plants to just give it a little bit of variety. once I had everything figured out where it was going to go, I went ahead and took everything back out, and now we're going to slowly just get everything planted. I focused mostly on getting things where I wanted them, and then I went back in and backfilled with any soil. That way I made sure all of the roots were covered and it would have adequate soil to keep the roots nice and moist. As I mentioned before, I worked on alternating the type of plant or herb, the texture of it, the color of it, just to help give it some variety. And then I did add in those Vinca vines on both the top and bottom, just to fill it out, give it that spiller look. I wanted this to look overgrown and like it's been here for a long time, just to make it look really cozy and very pretty. So that's why I added in the Vinca. This part is totally optional. You're not going to eat this. Don't have to put this in there, but I just love that whimsical look that it brings. Moving to the top pail, again, I'm going to start with the Vinca vine, and my goal for this top one was to kind of have it trailing out the back. I thought that this would be pretty from the other side of the deck as well. And we're going to be working on the area around the pool. That space you see down on the bottom there to the right is where our pool goes. We take it down during the winter. So that'll be going back up, I think, this weekend, but we're going to be adding some landscaping around that as well, just to make it look a little bit nicer. So I thought that I would put the Vinca vine here on the top, kind of towards the back, so that it would grow and spill out over the back of the deck. I thought that would be very, very pretty from all sides of the yard. I was really excited to be adding in these different herbs. I've already used them. I came out and clipped some cilantro the other night for our butter chicken that we made. I was also excited to be adding in lavender here because I thought that would be beautiful for some simmer pots to make my house smell really great. I've also seen people use lavender for cocktails or for baked goods, so I thought that would be nice to have. That was actually Danny's choice. I was really thrilled that he found that and thought that would be a good addition to our herb garden. Once everything was planted, I went back around and made sure to add any soil to cover up any of those exposed roots and just fill it all in. You'll want to make sure that none of your roots are exposed and that you have an adequate amount of soil to make sure that everything has the proper amount of moisture. You don't want anything to dry out. I'll also make sure to fertilize these throughout the growing season, and I'm so excited to have this to use. It smells so good out here on my deck already. Once that was all done, I just went back in with the blower to get all of the dirt off, and this is all done. I love how this turned out. Okay, my friends, here it is completed, and I think it is the cutest thing I've ever seen. I absolutely love it. I gotta go fill up my water, my watering can so we can get this thing watered in, but absolutely love how this turned out. It smells divine. You can, I'm sure, only imagine, but I think it's so pretty. I love, love, love the antique look of the galvanized pails, and I love that they're different. I love that they're not like totally matching. So now we definitely have to make some kind of cute marker. Even though I know what they all are, I think markers would be really, really cute. I have an idea, so stay tuned. We'll do that in a future video. And that brings us to the end of putting together our sweet little herb garden. I love how this turned out. I think it's so very beautiful. I hope that you enjoyed coming along with me today and found some inspiration to build a little herb garden for yourself and your family as well. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Please come back and see me again, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, my friends.